For the other live to go in. We are set on all channels now. So good evening, everyone. Glad to have you here for Live with Dr. D. And tonight we are going to talk about those sneaky weight loss mistakes in menopause because the game changes, you guys. So if you're not seeing results, there are reasons why. So are you in that midlife years there and doing all the right things, but the scale just won't but move? So let's talk about the sneaky mistakes that actually keep weight stuck on women's bodies as they're going through menopause. And you guys, I am broadcasting on several different channels. So give a hello and let me know that you're there and watching. Leave us a comment. Be sure to like our channels. You can find us on YouTube, Dr. D, on Facebook with Dr. D. You can also find us at South Bay Wellness. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all the different channels. So let's dive in and really cover this stuff tonight. So, maybe you've been eating cleaner. Maybe you've been moving your body. Maybe you've even tried cutting out cutting down your calories, but the weight won't budge. And if that's you, I want you to know that your body is not doing things wrong. There are just some really sneaky mistakes that nearly every woman in midlife, is making without even realizing it. So I want to go through those mistakes with you tonight and what to do instead. Oh, I knocked over my TikTok camera here. Let me fix that. Bear with me, you guys. All right, it's all fixed. So mistake number one. Okay. Mistake number one is eating too little or trying to diet harder, right? So I know it sounds backwards and don't get me wrong. Yes, we don't need to be super strict about monitoring all our calories. We should be paying more attention to the quality of food that we eat versus just always being alert and paranoid about counting everything. Okay. But when you drop your calories too far, your body actually thinks like, oh my God, we're in a famine. And then what it does is it holds on to fat for survival. And at that same time, what happens is your stress hormone, cortisol, it begins to spike. And as that happens, we now end up with more belly fat. So I want you to think of it like this. You guys, I love my analogies because I think they really drive home stuff and make it easy to understand certain points. But if you drive your car on empty all the time, eventually what's going to happen is the engine's going to start sputtering, right? And the car will eventually stop going. And it's kind of like that when it comes to our metabolism, right? When you keep pushing without having enough fuel. So instead of focusing on restriction, like I said, I want you to begin to focus on quality. Okay. Build your meals with real food. And I had a conversation with somebody today and I said this very thing because, we go out, we're looking for information on usually it's social media. That's why I'm here, you guys, against some of the other part of me that's like, no, get off social media. But in all honesty, you guys, so we go out there, we're looking for all this information. It's like expert A says, don't eat meat. And the other expert says, only eat meat. And then they're like, oh, don't eat animal protein. And then they're like, eat animal protein. And they're like, oh, don't have, beans. And then the other side is like, yes, have beans. And so you're like on this roller coaster. But yes, while all that remains controversial, okay, what we do know is that when you are building your meals and focusing on quality rather than restrictions, when you're getting plenty of real food and you're getting good quality of protein, whether plant-based or not, when you're getting in fiber, then your body works more efficiently. Okay. And that's I haven't heard anybody speak against that in either side of the course, but your body needs nutrients to burn fat efficiently. So if you're stuck in that phase where you're like, my body's not moving, the weight's not going anywhere, typically it's because you could be focusing on the wrong thing. And I have a pet peeve, you guys. It's like the quality of food really matters. And you see some of these like weight loss programs and things like that. And they're offering people fake foods filled with chemicals and so on and so forth. You guys, 100 calories in an apple, for example, from an apple or an avocado is very different than 100 calories in like a 100-calorie pack. So it does make a huge deal, and you want to be aware of that. So that's number one. So mistake number two, and this happens all the time, you guys. I see women who come in as clients at South Bay Wellness, and they're like, hey, I've got to lose weight. I just amped up my cardio. I'm spending, a half hour to an hour at the gym, on the treadmill, running, or the stair climber, whatever. But too much cardio and not enough strength training becomes an issue, you guys. And I see it all the time. A lot of women think that the more miles on the treadmill, the more spin classes, the more sweat. But in midlife, it changes because too much cardio can actually raise your cortisol. Okay. And we've talked about what the cortisol does, but what happens too, it will actually start to burn through your muscle. And muscle is pivotal, number one, for our metabolism and burning fat, but it's also pivotal for our longevity, okay? Because less muscle mass, it means slower metabolism, and it's the opposite thing of what you might be wanting. So strength training, on the other hand, you guys, that builds lean muscle. It protects your bone. It keeps your metabolism going. And studies show really that women who actually lift weights, even if it's just 2 or 3 times a week, they're going to maintain better bone density. And I know I have a lot of clients in my practice at South Bay Wellness where bone density, osteopenia, osteoporosis, it is a big deal. And we do need to pay attention to it as we age. We are not doomed to have osteoporosis or osteopenia, but we do need to pay attention to it. And that is certainly critical, you guys. If you have questions, go ahead and leave them for me. I should be able to see them come up on any of my screens here as I navigate this. So what I want you to do is trade a couple of those long cardio sessions for resistance training. Okay. And don't worry, this doesn't mean like you have to have like heavy barbells and you're going to bulk up. Like women, we just have different muscle than men. So, and if you're worried about it, or you're worried about, you've got different health issues or concerns and stuff, body weight, bands, dumbbells, all of those things count. Okay. So number three for this evening is ignoring stress and sleep. So if we in midlife, as midlife women going through menopause, if we ignore our stress levels and we are not getting our regular sleep cycle, we are messing with our body's hormonal systems, and we are going to have a more difficult time with our weight. So here's the truth. You can eat really clean. You can work out perfectly. You can do all the things. But if your stress levels are sky high and your sleep is poor, your body is going to be storing fat, especially around that belly area. And you guys, when cortisol is elevated, and cortisol, that is your fight or flight hormone, okay? When it is elevated, when our adrenals are stressed, when you're not getting that restorative sleep, your body says, okay, now's not the time to let go of the weight. I need to hold on to it for reserves. And that's because your body doesn't feel safe. So it's trying to maintain that sense of safety. So make sure that you've got like a nighttime wind down ritual. Turn off the lights, shut off the screen. So when you're done watching this live, leave it be, no more screens for the night, right? And maybe try some gentle stretching for bed, but really take care of yourself, because your sleep is paramount. And if you're having issues with sleep, you want to resolve that, because weight release during our midlife years without sleep is virtually impossible. Okay. So you want to really take care of your nervous system. You want your body to feel, okay, it's safe. It's safe to rest and it's safe to repair. So those were our 3 for this evening, you guys. So I'll recap. And if you missed it, go and watch the replay of this when we're done. Leave a comment for me. Be sure to like our channel. Give me some motivation here, you guys, to keep getting on social media here, because It is a brand new territory for me. Okay, but let me just recap. So number one was eating too little. It backfires. It keeps weight on us menopausal women. Too much cardio does the same thing. Too much cardio can actually slow your metabolism at this phase in life. And of course, ignoring stress and not sleeping will keep that weight stuck. So once you actually start to shift these things, you guys, your body will begin to work with you again instead of it feeling like it's working against you. Now, here's the thing, you guys. These are just 3 of the foundations, and I will be getting on live every day to give you more and more of these foundational things. But when I work with women, we go deeper because every woman's journey is different, right? And we talk about how food and hormones and stress and the nervous system, how all these things play a role. And that's really where the transformation happens. I know everyone scrolls social media and they're all looking for these things, throwing darts at the dartboard, trying to find some quick fix. It's not the way it works. So absolutely not the way it works. So leave me some questions, leave me some comments. I want to hear from you. And thank you for joining me today. I'll be back with more tips soon. Until then, remember, your body, it totally wants to heal, right? It totally wants to release the excess weight. We just need to give our bodies the right signal in order for us to do that. So with that, everyone, have a wonderful evening. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.